In today's episode, I'm going to talk about what you should be getting interviewed on podcasts. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me for today's episode of Interview Connections TV. Today's episode, I'm going to be talking about a topic that actually came to me via a question from somebody who listens to my podcast. She said she's really looking into getting interviewed on podcasts, but there's so many different topics she can talk about that she's not really sure, how she would focus her one sheet or how she would pitch herself to a podcaster because there's just so many different angles she could take. And she asked me what my advice would be and kind of how to figure out what topics to focus on. The first thing that I recommended to her was figure out, first of all, you have to know why you are getting interviewed on podcasts. Why do you want to get out there and get interviewed? Figure out what your goal is so that can help you determine what topics you should be focusing on. Assuming you are an entrepreneur and you want to be getting interviewed on podcasts as a way to market and grow your business, look at what do you do in your business. Now, once you get there, you might say, well, I do a lot of different things in my business. I focus on a lot of different products and services and areas of expertise. Then I want you to focus on what services or products or parts of your business you want the most exposure on. And in order to determine what you want the most exposure on, figure out what is the most profitable thing you do. What do you want to be known for? My dad, Jim Palmer, my business coach, has this great saying is that you will earn far more for who you are than what you do. So obviously you can't just go on a podcast and say, this is what I do and I'm the best at it. You really want to win people over, get them to know, like, and trust you. So you want to make sure you're going on podcasts, not only thinking about what my areas of expertise are, but what you want to be known for. So maybe you do social media marketing. You manage people's Twitter profiles or Facebook profiles. You don't just want to go on and talk about how to be a Twitter marketing expert, how to be a social media marketing expert, but you want to be going on and talking about what angle that you take with that. Because everyone has their own philosophy and their own take on the topics on which they talk about. So you want to figure out, again, what areas of your business you want to bring the most exposure to, and then the way you want to frame your interviews and frame your pitches is the unique angle that you can take on that topic. Lastly, you might want to have also 2 different one sheets. Maybe you really do have a lot of different things you can talk about, and they're so different from one show to the next that you actually want to have 2 different one sheets that present you in 2 very different ways. If you want to be getting interviewed, really figure out what your message is, what you want to be known for, what your unique angle is on any given topic, and that'll help podcasters be more interested in having you on their show. Check out my podcast, Roads to Success, at roadstosuccesspodcast.com, and check out the Podcast Producers. It's a 10-episode audio series created by myself and Corey Coates over at podfly.net. We are releasing raw and uncut interviews as well, but the 10-episode audio series is what you can find at thepodcastproducers.com. And if you want to have us design a one sheet for you, help you figure out what to get interviewed on, go to jessicarhodes.biz. See links to all of our different sites, including the Interview Connections store, where we will design your one sheet for you. I am Jessica Rhodes, and I am committed to helping you leverage your brand through the power of authority and expertise. Thank you for joining me this week. Have a wonderful, productive week. Do lots of interviews, and I will talk to you next Tuesday.